Alrighty, this is part 3 of the demon discussion. And I want to address the whole exorcism thing. Now, there are some people, and we've all come across them at some point in time, who try to state that I'm sorry if I don't use this correctly, but this is the best way I know to describe it. The Judeo-Christian / Catholic methods of dealing with possession. Now, I'm sure that they have their methods. Those cultures all have different methods about it. There is no one true, absolute end-all, be-all way of dealing with it. So we're going to generalize how it's dealt with. The way that an exorcism is dealt with is basically you're asserting your willpower over theirs. It's a struggle of willpower. It's not throwing some holy water, throwing some salt, rubbing oil on the face. No. What it really boils down to is you are asserting your will over theirs to banish them. It's a power struggle, a non-physical power struggle. Even though, speaking of physical, if on the very unlikelihood that you're going to deal with a possession, because in all seriousness, they are not that common. They are not as common as everybody makes out. And I mean, Supernatural Hunters Group will at least get one pop off every week about doing an exorcism. They are not that common. And not all possessions are demonic. Just throwing that out there. Not all. I mean, there are other things that can sense, but we're talking about demon possession or possession in general, really. That's all it is a power struggle. So your little tools of the trade and saying, oh, well, this is the right way, this is the right way. There is no one absolute way. And even this, the willpower thing, that's a commonality in all of them. And it's like, oh, well, you want to use power of Christ compels you. It's your belief in it, your faith in it, your will in that belief that gives it power. You can say the words until you blow in the face. But if you don't have that behind it, it's not going to do you any good. And that's for any faith. You can use whatever faith you want, but if you don't have a true drive behind it, it's not going to do you any good. So, let's break down the whole possession thing. If you are not extremely skilled in this, do not do it. Do not. Reading a book is not enough. I mean, even, oh, well, so-and-so taught me this. Unless you are standing beside them, learning, you are not going to know what you're doing. Because it's like this, it is not what you think it is. It is a horrible, horrible experience. It is a horrible thing to witness. It's not like on the TV shows and in the movies. So, and I'll just go ahead and put it this way. If you don't have at least 5 years under your belt, do not do it. That's just a great general guideline. If you don't have at least 5 years experience under your belt, don't even attempt it. Because odds are you're going to make it a lot worse. And that being said, whatever you're trying to exercise is going to be really pissed off, and it is going to know your scent. So don't do it. There are older ones of us that can do it. Even I don't like taking those jobs as long as I've been doing it. It's a bad experience, and even then there is no guarantee that it's a permanent solution. I mean, you can manage them, but it's very rare that it's going to be a forever thing. Especially if the person that it hopped on in the first place is still screwing with the wrong things. I mean, it's like mopping the floor, walking outside, and then tracking mud back in again. I mean, you can mop it consistently, but if you're still going out there and tracking the mud back in, it's not going to be any good. Temporary fix. So, if you're not pastly experienced, don't screw around with it. And for whatever reason, I don't know what goes through y'all's head when you talk about this. I've had, not lately, but it has happened a few times, people wanting to know how to summon them, to practice banishing them. Y'all are the biggest screw-ups. You are. And, I mean, even just the fact that you're asking how to do it shows how dumb you really are. Because if you're asking about it, clearly you don't know what you're doing. And then all you're going to do is get yourself hurt, get other people hurt, and make our jobs harder. Because then we're going to have to come in and clean up your mess. And that's how even more people get hurt. No, you don't need practice. You don't need to summon anything. No. Summoning, no. Just don't do it. When you summon things, you open doors. And what comes through that door may not necessarily be what you're looking for. So don't screw around with things that you don't understand. And that's just common sense, which ironically is not that common. So, to conclude my segment on demons, if you don't know what you're doing, don't screw with it. No amount of books is going to prepare you for something like that. Unless you're there witnessing it yourself, you do not know how exorcisms work. A demon and a daemon are not the same thing. Do not confuse the two. I cannot express this enough because I am tired of explaining it over and over and over. And lastly, fallen angels may be demons, but not all demons are fallen angels, and not all demons are Christian related. Now, just a quick little notation on that. Christian methods are not always going to work for a non-Christian demon. Think about that. And even the Judica Isles books is mostly talking about low-level demons. Low-level demons alone are going to be a challenge for you that can get a lot of people hurt. And if it has a specific name, run the other direction. Because not all demons are stupid. And not all demons are dumb and going to fall for little tricks like throwing beads down. Some of them are very intelligent. Some of them are very clever, very methodical. Don't get in over your heads. Don't deal with them at all. Just avoid it altogether. I mean, it's one thing if you want to protect yourself. That's fine. I gave you the information to do it. But don't go out looking for trouble or you're going to get hurt. And you're going to get others hurt. So, stay away from it. And this concludes my segment on demons. Now, as always, on the lighter note, the less serious note, feel free to share, comment, suggest topics, whatever you want. Ask questions, refer a friend. I don't know. But keep tuning in, keep learning, keep doing your research. Don't do anything stupid. Y'all have a good night.